see how many people join. 4 so far. Evening, everyone. We're just going to wait a couple of minutes before we start. Cool. All right, we're sitting at 20, Jacqueline. I think we'll start if that's okay.
Okay, that's fine.
I think it's a decent turnout. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nico. I'm the Managing Director of Global Education. We're the local agency of about 400 universities worldwide, and we do the applications for the universities as their local agency here in South Africa. So we verify documents, make sure that you meet all the entry requirements, process the application on your behalf, as well as assisting you with the student visa. We help you with accommodation and finalizing all of that with the universities that we're partnered with. How it works is you will tell us what you want to study and where you want to study it. We'll give you a list of universities that offer the program and then sort of help you make the best decision for yourselves. So I'm not going to talk too much about us because you've probably heard it 1,000 times with all the webinars that have happened. I'm going to hand over to Jacqueline now. She's from the University of Berkeley Extension, and she's going to talk about the programs that they have on offer and how they can help South African students. Jacqueline, I'm going to stop my screen share and you can go for it. Oh, quickly before I stop, just in terms of a little bit of housekeeping, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the Q&A section of the webinar. I'll answer in the background, and then when Jacqueline gets to the end of her presentation, I'll ask her some of the questions and we'll have a little Q&A session. And you can obviously continue asking questions in the meantime. Cool. Jacqueline, I'll hand over to you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I am Jacqueline, and I will be talking. I am representing UC Berkeley Extension today, or our sub-branch called Berkeley Global. I'm going to share my screen. Oh, is it sharing it? I don't think so.
Yep, it's on the screen.
Oh, it's on the presentation.
It's on the presentation, yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so as I mentioned, I am Jacqueline, and please feel free to write in your questions on the chat, and we will answer them at the end of the presentation. So I am representing UC Berkeley Extension, or Berkeley Global. We offer short-term programs at UC Berkeley and certificate programs for professionals. We are, in case you're not familiar, we are located in the United States, in California, in Northern California, in Berkeley. And we are close to San Francisco. So if you're familiar with the Bay Area, we're close to San Francisco. We're also very close to Lake Tahoe, a plane ride away from Los Angeles. We're very close to the wineries in Napa and Sonoma. So, and we're a plane ride away. I know I mentioned San Francisco, but we are a plane ride, oh, not a plane ride, sorry, a train ride away from San Francisco, about 20 minutes. And also Silicon Valley, which is the hub and epicenter of technology. So that is an awesome place to be. So I'm going to give you a few facts about UC Berkeley. I'll call it UC Berkeley main campus, which is where everybody gets, bachelor's, master's, PhDs. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that because a lot of our study abroad programs are on main campus, although we do have some at Extension, which will be not on main campus. So I will kind of try to explain that a little bit as we move on in the presentation, but I'll give you a few facts. We are the #1 public global university in the world. We have been consistently ranked #1, and we have about 110 Nobel Prize winners. That's including alumni, faculty. We do host over 10,000 international students each year, with over 92 countries represented. So welcome to Berkeley, and this is where I'm going to try to explain to you a little bit more about what exactly UC Berkeley Extension is. So the picture on the left is a main campus picture. So that is where our short-term study abroad programs will be. And that is what we call UC Berkeley main campus. And the picture on the right, that's our extension building in Berkeley, which is right outside of campus, like about a 10-minute walk, 5-minute walk from campus. And that is usually where, when pre-COVID, that's where we would go and work. And that's also where we would hold some of our classes. We also have a building in San Francisco, which I mentioned is a 20-minute train ride from Berkeley. And that is also where we hold our certificate programs. So I'm going to show you a quick video. Are you able to hear it? Oops. Yes, okay.
What happens here isn't magic. It just feels that way because there is no telling what will occur when people, unsatisfied with the way things are, have the courage to imagine a better way and the freedom to turn what could be into what will. That takes bold thinking, disruptive ideas, and an amazing array of perspectives, people, and intellectual pursuits. But it's hard to capture something that won't stand still. That's Berkeley.
Berkeley.
Built by the people, for the people. Founded and forever inspired by those who had an unstoppable drive to build a new state on the western edge. We embraced the radical idea of a public university and never looked back. Hundreds of thousands of lives changed for people who then go out and change the lives of millions more in our state, our nation, and the world. That's Berkeley. Taking on today's biggest.
So I won't go over the whole video. I just wanted you to get a bit of a view into UC Berkeley. But if you do want to watch the rest, you can watch the rest on the YouTube channel, and it's called That's Berkeley. Okay, so I went over that a little bit just so that you had a little bit of background on what exactly is UC Berkeley and to have a little bit of an understanding, hopefully, on Berkeley Global. So now, or UC Berkeley Extension. So UC Berkeley Extension, Berkeley Global, which is what I'm representing. I will talk about the programs that we have. And as I mentioned, we have short study abroad programs. I will talk about, we don't offer full degree programs. So we don't offer bachelor's, master's, or PhDs, but I'm happy to talk to you about the short-term programs. We have our campus-based study abroad programs, which on screen are the Berkeley Global Access programs and the Berkeley Physics International Education program. And then we have our professional certificates, which are our extension-based programs. All of the students that come to the United States through our programs we issue F1 visas. So to start off with our first program, we have the Berkeley Global Access program. So this program is for university students, graduate students, or professionals. It is 1 semester or 2 semesters. And students with this program get to choose any from most academic courses. You're not able to get any courses from the law school, but you are able to join if you want to take art classes, if you want to take sociology classes. Really, it's up to you. History classes. You get to choose your own schedule. You do have to be very flexible with this. Students are able to transfer those academic credits back to their home university. So you do have to already be enrolled in a university at least for 1 year. With this program, students get to study alongside other UC Berkeley students. So this program is on main campus, and students will receive a transcript from UC Berkeley Extension. So to join this program, students have to have at least a minimum grade point average of 3.0 and the English language proficiency requirement of a TOEFL of at least 90 or equivalent. So if you are interested in a specific subject area like entrepreneurship, legal studies, or physics, we do also have specific programs for those. As I mentioned, with the last program, you are able to choose from most academic subjects. However, some courses can be a little bit difficult to get into, which is why we have the following programs, which are all the similar idea. You come to campus, you study abroad, and you usually transfer those credits back to your home university. So we have the Berkeley Haas Global Access Program, which focuses on entrepreneurship. And this one is for undergraduate, graduate, and professional students as well. It is 1 semester or 2 semesters. And with this program, students get to study at the top-ranked business school at UC Berkeley. And the curriculum is focused on entrepreneurship. We do have a set courses and also electives that can be chosen with this program. And something that makes this program different from the other programs is that with this program, students are able to, or they have been able to visit companies. Since we are so close to Silicon Valley, students have been able to visit startups. They visited Google, Facebook, and they really get a more practical hands-on approach to entrepreneurship, and they get to really see it up close. Something that also makes this program unique is that after 2 semesters, if you are interested in optional practical training, which is OPT, the OPT visa, which allows you to work in the United States for 1 year, paid, then after 2 semesters, you are eligible to apply for that for OPT. So I also have a short video here. This one was actually done by one of our students that completed the Berkeley High School Access Program. So this is just kind of gives you a glimpse on kind of what they did during the program and a little bit more of the Bay Area. So I'm just going to show it to you just to give you a bit more of an idea. Okay, so that video just showed a lot of site visits, and at the end you saw the graduation ceremony that we hold for them at the end. Okay, so if you're interested in this program, you have to have at least 2 years of undergraduate coursework, a minimum grade point average of 3.0, and the English language proficiency of at least 90. So as you may notice moving forward as well, all of our programs do have a 3.0 grade point average and a minimum English language proficiency requirement of at least 90. So we also have our Legal Studies Global Access Program. This program really is the same idea. It is for students who are interested in legal studies. Students get to study at a top-ranked law school, and they do have a focused curriculum on legal studies here. So instead of you choosing your courses like the first program that I talked about, this one's already set. You go in as a cohort, and you get to have classes alongside other US students as well. With this program, instead of visiting startups and Google and Facebook, they visit law firms, and they visited the prison that we have here, St. Quentin, that's close by here. And they have done, I believe, the Supreme Court as well. So they get to do a lot of things, a lot of fun things that are related to law and legal studies. This really is for any student who, let's say you want to do international law one day, or if you really want to enhance your resume because you want to eventually go to law school in the US, you want to get a glimpse of it. This program is special because really an undergraduate program in the United States is rare in law, and or any legal studies really. I think it's one of two that are in the United States. So you'll be able to take part in that. So if you're interested in this program, it's the same requirements as the Berkeley High School Access Program. As I mentioned, same TOEFL, same grade point average, and at least 2 years of undergraduate coursework. Okay, so lastly, I'll talk about our professional certificate programs. So these programs are for students who have at least 3 years of undergraduate work, or who have graduated university already. This will be for you. It's for people who want to maybe change careers, want to specialize in something. You want to really enhance your resume. You want to learn something very practical and hands-on. That is what these programs are. And these programs are at extension buildings. So as opposed to all the other programs I mentioned before, those short-term programs are all held on main campus. These are at extension. So we do focus on business and technology. So we have data analytics, digital marketing, project management. We have a lot of options for you to choose from. They're all 1 semester, so about 4.5 months. So these are kind of the options that we have for students. You can study for 1 semester, so you can complete 1 certificate. You can study for 2 semesters, so you can complete 2 different certificates. Or you can stay here for 3 semesters and study 2 certificates and an internship, or 2 certificates and then 1 semester of just elective classes. Really, it's up to you. Something that's different about this program as well is that after 2 semesters, if you're interested again in the optional practical training, which allows you to work in the United States for 1 year paid, you will be eligible for OPT after you complete 2 semesters. We also, as I mentioned, have an internship. So after this program, you're also eligible for an internship. Even after 1 semester, you're also able to do that internship. So you don't have to wait 2 semesters. We do have a lot of students who do complete the internships, I will say, just because they do want to get that experience in their resume, and especially if they eventually want to go for OPT. So if you're interested in the professional certificate program, so you at least have to have 3 years of undergraduate coursework, the grade point average of 3, and the minimum TOEFL of 90. So this slide just kind of goes over a little bit more about internships and OPT. As I mentioned, the internships are if you've completed a professional certificate program. So you're able to do that after just 1 semester, or you can do 2 semesters or 2 different certificates and then apply for the internship. OPT, just to summarize, is available only for students who complete the Berkeley High School Access Program and the professional certificate programs. So just a little bit more about extension and about our staff. So we do love having all of our international students come to Berkeley. We have a lot of people that are working really hard with academic advising. We have advisors that can advise you with housing, with health insurance, with your visa. They also host a lot of social activities. So every semester, at the start of the semester, we have a welcome reception, which is all of the students that are coming to Extension, no matter what program they're going to. We have a welcome reception and we kind of get them all together. We have snacks, food, and usually the band comes, and it's a great time to really meet other people that are in your programs and make friends. So where do people live? So when people come to our programs, students can live in dorms, private shared apartments, or homestays. I will say that the dorms and the homestays are pretty rare. Most students do live in private or shared apartments. So there are a lot of apartments all around Berkeley for students. Berkeley is very much a college town, and it's usually all walking distance from campus or from the Berkeley Extension buildings. Some students also live in San Francisco, since a lot of their courses, especially if they're doing certificate programs, are going to be held in the San Francisco Extension building. So most students do share rooms and apartments. It really does depend on price point, but we do have a lot more information on our website about housing and housing options. Our website does a really good job at outlining a lot of different places where students have stayed in the past, and it links to a lot of vetted buildings that we recommend. Okay, so that is all for today. Of course, now I'm happy to answer any questions that are on the chat. And so on.
Thanks, Jacqueline. We've got a few that are coming in. I'm going to ask you the first one that came in just so that you can answer. So from a student who's actually studying at the University of Cape Town. And she wants to know if she's studying in English and obviously has a good English mark at school, is she able to waiver that TOEFL requirement, or does she still have to do it?
Yeah, so if you are studying full English and if you've done that for a full year, then we are able to waive it. You are able to ask for a waiver in the application. Sometimes they may ask you to go through an interview, but usually if you do have that and you're able to show that you've done full course study in English for a year through your transcripts or through a letter from the dean, or then you're good to go. Right now, I will say that because of COVID, we are being a little bit more lenient with our TOEFL scores, in the sense that we are actually doing in-house interviews for anybody that does not have a score. So if you just don't have a score, then you are able to just request an interview and we will give you an interview. The interview is usually pretty short, and it consists of somebody asking questions to you, about 10 questions, kind of having a conversation, and then there's a short written part where it's like a paragraph. It's very short, and that's really the test. But it's only now because of COVID. But in general, though, if you do have the English study for at least a year, then you should be getting a waiver.
Awesome. Thanks, Jacqueline. As expected, we're getting some university main campus questions. So I'm just gonna read them out and we'll go through them as best we can. So Lalani is asking, do you offer any medical programs, or is it only business and technology focused?
So we don't have any medical programs. They are only business and technology, at least certificate programs. If you're asking about extension, I guess just to kind of get out the main campus university question as well. Main campus, I don't represent main campus, so I can't really answer questions on undergraduate or graduate programs, but I will say that main campus does not have a medical program. Most students go to UCSF, because UC Berkeley doesn't have any medical programs.
Awesome.
So
Ga-
as extension don't either.
Awesome. Thanks, Jacqueline. Maybe I should just clarify for everyone else, just so we can try and avoid too many questions. UC Berkeley main campus is obviously a separate whole application process. Global can assist you with that. We do have a team that deals with the common application system. So that's a different way of applying for the main campus. All our contact details obviously on the screen. We'll go through what's required in terms of putting through an application like that, but you will need to do SATs. So just to be clear about main campus, just make contact with us via the email address there, and we can put you in touch with our team that deals with the direct entry application process. So that answers the next question. Here's a student that's asking, would you be able to explain further about the physics extension program that was on the slides that you went through earlier?
Yes, so I actually don't think I mentioned it at all, but that program is very similar to the Berkeley Haas Entrepreneurship and the Legal Studies program. It's just focused on physics. So the reason why we have a physics program is because it's actually very hard to get into physics courses through our general Berkeley Global Access program. And because it's very hard, we have partnered with the physics department on campus to help them get the word out about their program. So it's technically not an extension program. However, we are able to give you information on it. And it's the same idea. The student does get set curriculum. So you will get set curriculum, about 3 courses. And you're able to go in as a cohort, and they also do a lot of fun activities outside of the classroom, but the main idea is that you are able to take physics courses and you're able to transfer those courses back to your home university. So you do at least need to have at least 1 year of undergraduate coursework to apply to this program. But the requirements are the same. It's still a 3.0 GPA and at least a 90 TOEFL or equivalent.
Awesome, thanks. Next question. As an undergraduate international student, are the SATs the only required test, or are there any other tests that could increase my chances of admission?
For undergraduate, I don't
as an undergraduate. So the student saying he is already an undergraduate at international level.
So we don't require SATs for our short-term programs. So you won't need that. All that we require is the English language proficiency requirement, a personal statement of purpose, so a personal statement of intent, kind of why you want to join the program. And for the certificate programs, a resume is required. And really that's all. You don't need letter of recommendations. You don't need any of that. You just need to meet the requirements with your transcripts and in your English language, and at least the 1 year or 2 years, depending on the program, of undergraduate work.
Awesome, thanks, Jacqueline. Next question is from Gavin. He wants to know, do you host any BCom accounting programs, and what are they like if you do?
So accounting programs, what do you mean, do we post? Do we offer?
Do you host? Yeah, do you offer any?
Yeah, so in past we have. So one of the programs that we used to actually offer, I can share, but one of the programs that we used to offer was a certificate program in accounting, and we also had one in finance. We don't offer that anymore. We offer those now as part-time. So we may have those online, but if you want to come in person under the F1, we do not have those specific type of courses. But maybe I should have mentioned it and I didn't, but all of our certificate programs, we do also have them in online versions for the fall. So we are thinking about having in-person programs, but we also have everything online. But specifically for other types of programs, we offer them part-time, and they will be online. So you're welcome to check out our website, and if online is of interest, unless you really want to come in person, something that I recommend is you can take a certificate, or you can do the Berkeley Global Access Program, the first one, to study on main campus, and get a class that might be more fitting to your interests. So if you're interested in accounting, then you might try to get into accounting courses main campus, or also at Extension. We have those courses. So if you join, for example, the Berkeley Global Access Program, you are able to take courses from main campus and from Extension. So which is a way if you do want to come in person.
Awesome, thanks, Jacqueline. Next question, student I think needs a bit of clarity in terms of the 2 undergraduate course program that you're offering. They're saying, when you say you need to have done 2 undergraduate courses, does that mean before I attend the Berkeley, I need to have already done 2 courses at another university, question mark?
Oh, so it's 2 years of undergraduate work. So you do have to have at least 2 semesters completed of a university. That's what, so a lot of our programs really are for students who are enrolled in a university already. Now, these programs, a lot of the students, it's more of a study abroad experience, or really for professionals who have already graduated and want to specialize in something, or want to change careers, or really enhance their resume.
Okay. Just to clarify with everyone, that's for UC Berkeley Extension. Obviously, if you're looking to apply to the university at undergraduate level, we'd have to go through the Common App application process. So that's separate. You'd have to contact us via email, and we'll explain how that process works. It's completely different.
Yes.
So the next 2 questions are sort of similar, and they want to know about scholarships and financial aid for international students. Do you offer anything through the extension program? And yeah, can you elaborate a bit more on that?
Yeah, so we don't offer financial aid because financial aid is usually for California students. And we do offer some scholarships depending on the program. So for example, the 2 programs that we have scholarships for are the Berkeley Haas Global Access Program, which is the entrepreneurship program, and the Legal Studies Global Access Program. For those 2, we do have limited scholarships. We do offer $5,000 scholarships to the students, which you would apply to at the same time as you're applying to when you apply for the program. And I mean, they're not guaranteed. So I would say that people should look at them as a bonus because it's not a guarantee that you will get them. You do get to apply though, but it's more of a bonus, because our programs can be a little bit pricey depending on the program that you're going for. They can range between $11,000 to $20,000 a semester.
Awesome. Cool, thanks, Jacqueline. One more question here from Warren. He says, do you keep any dedicated spots open for international students, or do all students compete for the same spots?
So our program, or the programs that I spoke about today specifically, were, and at this point it's kind of transitioning, but they are programs that are mostly for international students. So for our Berkeley Haas Global Access Program specifically, it is for mostly for international students. You're not really competing with any other domestic student, although domestic students can of course apply. That program is about 120 students per cohort. We also have the Legal Studies program. It's also mostly international students, so you're not really competing with anybody. And the Berkeley Global Access Program, that one is a little bit trickier because you will be competing in a sense with other UC Berkeley domestic students to get into the classes. So that's why that one I do mention that you do have to be very flexible, because you may or may not get your first choice of courses on campus.
Awesome. And then one more question. A student wants to know what kind of sporting or club activities are they able to do if they come on campus?
Yeah, so if you join any of our programs, you will also get a Cal 1 card. The Cal 1 card allows you to, so this is whether you're doing a certificate program or whether you're doing a study abroad short-term program. With the Cal 1 card, you're able to go to the gym, you're able to use the recreational facilities, the library. And especially, I will say it may be easier if you're doing a study abroad program on campus, so one of the global access programs. If you're doing those, you do get an opportunity to have classes with other UC Berkeley students, so you're able to network a little bit more, and it may be a little bit easier for you to join their clubs. But we have many different clubs, like biking club, robotics clubs. We have, and you're able to join any of them.
Awesome. And then in terms of, this one's just for my own information, in terms of cost of living for students just in the city, what can they expect?
Yeah, so for cost of living, you can expect an estimated amount of $10,500 for the semester. It definitely depends on where the student ends up living and kind of what they end up choosing. So for example, a student that ends up sharing a room with somebody may not spend as much money per month as somebody that gets their own room somewhere. So it really just varies on what the student does, but we do estimate 10,500.
And then are students that come through the extension programs or doing a semester of study abroad or a certificate, are they able to work part-time, or are they limited to what they can do?
Yeah, so with an F1 visa, students are able to work at least 20 hours on campus. I do want to be realistic, and I do want to say that that's pretty rare just because jobs are very limited. So at Extension, we do try to hire our own students, our international students. But I will say that it can be rare to find jobs on campus because it's just they're competing with a lot of other domestic students and a lot of students that are on financial aid that kind of get dibs on the jobs. So it is rare. It is possible though, with the F1 visa, it is possible. So students have definitely done.
Thanks, Jacqueline. I think those are all the questions and nothing else has come through. So just to reiterate with everyone, if you're looking to apply directly to the university, just contact us via email and we'll talk about the direct application process through Common App. Obviously, if you're looking to do any of these programs through Berkeley Extension, or obviously if you're a professional or an undergrad student looking to extend, please get in touch with us and we'll put you in touch with Jacqueline and obviously help you find the right program for you. Jacqueline, I just want to say thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's a pleasure to see you, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you in person for our next Expo.
Yes.
Which would be awesome if things go back to normal anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me, and thank you everybody for sticking around and listening to me talk about our programs and learning a little bit more about UC Berkeley Extension.
Awesome. Thanks, Jacqueline. Have a good evening or good day.
Yes.
Everyone else, good night. Thank you. And we'll see you tomorrow for the next one.
Bye.
Cheers.